Moving into our new neighborhood was supposed to be a fresh start for our family. The decision to leave our previous house wasn't an easy one. We craved a change, a place where our kids could grow up in peace. The neighborhood we settled in was beautiful, with well-kept lawns and picturesque houses. However, despite its charm, an unsettling quietness loomed. Not even a squirrel graced the area, leaving a void where the lively chatter of wildlife should have been. Our neighbor, Adam, stood out amidst this unusual calm. A man with no wife or children, he exuded an eerie vibe that set him apart. Despite the unsettling aura, we tried to be friendly, and against our instincts, we became friends. His house was minimalistic, but the collection of knives he possessed was more fitting for a sushi chef than an ordinary neighbor. One day, curiosity got the better of me, and I noticed a small door in his house. When I inquired, Adam's immediate panic and evasion raised red flags. A strange smell lingered in the air, but I chalked it up to neglect and didn't press the matter. However, my wife, sensing something amiss, urged caution, recounting Adam's frequent visits in my absence during these encounters. He exhibited an unnerving tendency to touch my shoulder and hands, a boundary-crossing familiarity that unsettled my wife to her core. The randomness of these touches left her feeling violated, as if an unspoken malevolence lingered behind each contact. The nature of Adam's conversations only added to the disquiet. In the guise of neighborly banter, he consistently remarked on the apparent idyllic nature of my life. A loving family, a settled existence. Yet beneath the seemingly benign words, a venomous undertone revealed itself. His expressions of envy and desperation for a wife mirrored a disturbing fixation. What should have been a harmless desire for companionship twisted into a sinister yearning. Oddly, despite expressing his yearning for a wife, a palpable hatred seeped into Adam's words when discussing women. It was an inexplicable paradox, a desire entangled with animosity. These conflicting sentiments created an atmosphere of discomfort, painting a troubling portrait of Adam's inner turmoil. Disturbed by this, I told my wife that maybe he is just very socially awkward around women. Next time I met Adam, I mentioned to him that his frequent visits to my house during the daytime distracts my wife from work and taking care of the house time. He apologized, and I too felt anger and frustration simmering beneath his surface. While our interactions decreased after that, Adam remained a presence in our lives. The delivery for Adam marked a peculiar turn in our neighborly interactions. A knock on the door announced the arrival of a package from our local hardware store, addressed to Adam. However, he was nowhere to be found at the time. The contents of the package were nothing short of alarming. Massive butcher knives and ropes, a combination that set off immediate alarm bells in my mind. The delivery boy asked me to pass this on to Adam. I accepted. The next day I saw Adam and handed him the package, asking him why he required them. He laughed and told me that the knives were part of his collection, and the ropes were 2 hang clothes. Despite my reservations, I chose to leave it at that, opting not to delve deeper into the unsettling mystery that enveloped our neighbor. I mentioned this incident to my wife as she said he no longer made unannounced appearances at our doorstep. But when she saw him outside and acknowledged Adam with a friendly wave and then turned away, a subtle feeling of being watched crept over her. When she mustered the courage to glance back, she said she caught him looking at her with a feral stare, and she ran back home. I hugged her and told her not to worry as I was looking for a different neighborhood. One night, my wife woke me up and whispered that she thinks someone has broken into the house as she heard the sound of furniture moving downstairs. With a sense of urgency, I directed her to seek refuge under the bed, urging her to dial the police as I armed myself with a baseball bat. A cloak of darkness enveloped the house as I crouched behind the door, awaiting the intruder whose ominous footsteps resonated through the silence. The tension escalated with each passing second, the weight of anticipation hanging heavily in the air. As the silhouette of a grown man materialized in the dim light, primal instinct took over. The bat swung through the air with a fierce determination, connecting with a resounding thud. The subsequent flicker of the light revealed a sight that sent shivers down my spine. Adam, with a knife clutched in one hand and ropes slung over his shoulder, his eyes ablaze with a feral intensity. I struck him again, a desperate attempt to repel the threat he embodied. The police arrived and took Adam into custody and investigated his house. The small door I had observed before concealed a room of unspeakable atrocities, a chamber filled with the grotesque remains of multiple dead, decaying animals. The police informed me of the chilling revelation that Adam had inscribed my wife's name across the walls of that sinister room. The implications were stark, a nightmarish plan to imprison her within the confines of a chamber tainted by unspeakable horrors. We left the neighborhood swiftly, leaving behind the shadows of a once promising community. The unsettling calmness that had gripped the area turned out to be a facade, concealing a darkness we could never have imagined. The whispers of darkness, hidden behind a charming exterior, had nearly engulfed us, and our escape was a breath of relief from a nightmare we never knew existed. Moving into a new neighborhood always brings a mix of excitement and curiosity. My family, including my wife and kids, recently joined the tight-knit community of Elmwood. Our decision to move wasn't particularly mysterious. I found a job closer to this area, and we thought it would be a great place to raise our children. Elmwood had that classic suburban charm, with neatly lined houses and friendly faces. The area was peaceful, boasting tree-lined streets and a communal park where kids played and families gathered. We were eager to settle in and make this place our home. Our new neighbor Sam stood out from the rest. He was a sweet guy, always ready with a friendly wave or a warm greeting. Sam, a photographer by profession, had an easygoing demeanor. He had a mop of curly brown hair, a pair of wire-framed glasses perched on his nose, and a constant smile that made him instantly likable. Sam's eagerness to welcome us went a step further, when he proposed taking a professional photo of our family as a welcome gift. We agreed, appreciating the gesture and looking forward to having a personal touch to adorn our new home. As weeks passed, we became good friends with Sam. He would often join us for barbecues in the backyard or share stories over cups of coffee. However, one thing struck us as odd. He never allowed us to visit his house. Sam brushed it off, claiming it was a bit messy and he was embarrassed. Despite our curiosity, we respected his privacy and thought nothing more of it. Until one day, a peculiar incident caught our attention. While my wife was in the bedroom, folding sheets as I was at work, she saw what she thought was a white flash entering through the window. Investigating, she noticed that the neighbor's bedroom curtains were just slightly open. She thought it was her imagination. When I came back home, she shared it with me in passing, and though I felt uneasy, I didn't press the matter. It was only when I casually mentioned this incident to Sam during one of our meetings that things took a strange turn. Sam's demeanor changed instantly. He mumbled something about being busy and hastily left. Weeks later, the strange occurrences resumed. My wife, going for a shower, spotted the glint of a white flash again. This time, she immediately called me, and I rushed home. Concerned, we decided to involve the police. The police, knocking on Sam's door, received no response. Hearing suspicious sounds inside, they decided to intervene. When they entered, they found Sam in his room, hastily hiding a bunch of photos. To our shock, those photos were of my wife and kids, along with other unsuspecting families in the neighborhood. Sam was promptly taken into custody and removed from the neighborhood. It turned out he had been secretly photographing families and individuals without their consent. The police investigation revealed the extent of his intrusion into our lives, and we never saw Sam again. The incident left us with a chilling reminder that sometimes, even in the most seemingly idyllic neighborhoods, there can be shadows lurking behind the curtains. It was a wake-up call about the importance of vigilance, even in places where trust seems implicit. Moving to the quiet neighborhood of Brookside was a decision filled with optimism for our family. The sun-drenched streets and welcoming homes created a perfect canvas for a fresh start. The reason behind our move was simple yet significant. My husband had landed a fantastic deal on a house, providing us with an opportunity to build a new life. Our house, nestled among others with neatly manicured lawns, stood as a testament to our eagerness to embrace this fresh chapter. Eager to make our mark, we adorned our garden with cheerful gnomes, colorful flowers, and various other whimsical decorations. It was our way of bringing a touch of joy to the neighborhood. Amit, our neighbor on the right, was an engineer with a reserved demeanor. His appearance mirrored his reserved nature, neat, clean-cut, with glasses perched on his nose. Despite the initial oddity in our conversations, Amit seemed harmless, if a bit distant. On the left side lived Kurt, an architect with a friendly disposition. His casual attire and easy smile made him a stark contrast to Amit. We struck up a friendship with Kurt, bonding over shared interests and family anecdotes. One peculiar incident marked the beginning of a subtle disturbance in our newfound tranquility. While mowing the lawn and my wife enjoying her iced tea, we noticed a few garden decorations missing. A fleeting thought of a raccoon being the culprit crossed my mind. Who else would take such trivial items? The incident slipped to the back of my mind until I noticed those very decorations gracing Amit's lawn during my daily commute. Curiosity nagged at me, and after work, I confronted Amit. His surprise mirrored mine, claiming he had noticed the decorations a few days back, but assumed it was the mischief of some animal. I dismissed it, attributing the incident to an innocent misunderstanding. When I shared the odd occurrence with Kurt, he chuckled it off as a neighborhood prank. The unease escalated when I spotted Amit snooping around my house one day just in front of my door. Inquiring about his intentions, he casually asked to borrow a barbecue grill. I obliged, dismissing the strange encounter as an isolated event. My children often have the habit of leaving their toys and electronics on the lawn chair. Spoiled brats, I know. One day my son swore to me that he kept his phone on the lawn chair, but now it was missing. I yelled at him and told him to be careful. I told him that it would be the last time I would look for it. Using the iPhone tracking app, we discovered it was within close proximity, inside Amit's house. Confrontation ensued, and Amit vehemently denied any involvement until I spotted the phone near his windowsill. A stern warning was issued, and I decided to keep a close eye on our belongings. One evening during a family dinner, a notification interrupted our meal. Motion detected inside our house. Preparing to call the police, I discovered, to my astonishment, that it was Kurt caught on camera. The betrayal cut deep, and I promptly called the police, sharing the damning footage. Kurt's arrest followed swiftly, and he confessed to framing Amit, diverting suspicion from his true intentions. In a private conversation, the police revealed the unsettling truth. Kurt was a felon living under an alias. He had been meticulously collecting details about our lives, from daily routines to the routes our children took home. Their investigations unveiled sinister plans. Not only did Kurt intend to rob our house, but he also harbored a chilling plan to kidnap our son. Overwhelmed with fear and distrust, we decided to relocate. Brookside, once a promising haven, now carried the shadows of a friend-turned-foe. Our move aimed to escape the unsettling echoes of betrayal and preserve the safety of our family in a new, unknown horizon.